We are now 24 counts in, all guilty from inside. This is what we are hearing from our producers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Guilty. Now remember,
you knew it was coming.
You gotta be kidding me. This is wild. This is wild. Oh my Lord.
It doesn't matter whether you love or hate Donald Trump. What happened today was offensive to the Constitution. Every single American who loves this country, who loves this government, who loves our founding document, which was passed, by the way, not to restrain Americans, the individual. It was passed to restrain the government.
Yeah.
To keep the government from acting out of bounds. And boy, oh boy, when you look at this, when you take a step back and try to absorb this, how can you not say that this is way, way out of bounds? God,
it's extremely out of bounds. Trump is found guilty on 34 charges. I mean, first of all, the shocking thing is that I smelled it coming. I was like, they're gonna do something, right? And I was hoping, like, I hope they don't do that, because I'm hoping there's still some trust left in our justice system, that they won't go to this extreme. Well, they did. Former President Donald Trump found guilty on all counts in hush money case. Hush money case? Yo, what is this? My Lord, what am I reading here? So, of course, he's in New York City. Calvin Brad. We have jurors that don't like him very much. We have a judge who didn't like him very much. I mean, it's like, this was a given. This shouldn't be this should be a no-brainer for all of us. But it's still shocking that we are reading this. It's like, you know what's gonna happen to the mindset of Americans after something like this? The perspective we're gonna have about our justice system after something like this? Like, hate Trump all you want. This is horrible. This is not good news. This is bad news for America. This is bad news for this great country.
Trump was found guilty because he beat Hillary and is about to beat Joe Biden. I thought I'd be angry, but I feel this cool resignation, this resoluteness that we're wounded as a country, and we're not going to go down, that we're going to get back up, we're going to regain our strength, and then we're going to vanquish the evil forces that are destroying this republic. Trump was found guilty because he...
Yeah, that's just weird to me, man. But again, I like what he says is because he's going to win against Hillary. Well, he won against Hillary. He's going to win against Joe Biden, and they can't have that. So here's President Trump here talking. Let's take a listen.
Are you worried about going to jail?
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists. and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out? You believe in the rule of law? You trust the jury? Are you going to jail?
That's crazy, man. That is wild. I can't believe I'm watching this. I can't believe I'm alive to see it. It's out of control madness. This is out of control madness. Feel how you want to feel. You know, when we Christians are saying, quoting from the words of Jesus, like a time of persecution is coming, right? Which persecution is always happening. There's this persecuted church and there's a free church, but it's happening in different parts of the world, of course. But when we like say persecution is gonna come to the United States, right? You say, oh, that can never happen. Well, the precedence has been set. If you can take a former president and place 34 something charges against the man for something that happened 7 years ago that was no issue until he ran for president. If you can find a man and then find a crime and then label him guilty of that crime in the United States of America, former president, possibly the next president of the United States, okay, 45, 47. If you can you can find a way to get find that man guilty in the United States of America, we are in trouble. Like, we are in trouble. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. If you can take down Donald Trump and have taken down Donald Trump, none of us is safe. Forget it. Like, we're talking about other nations, a banana republic, and we blame China, we blame Russia. Listen, you see what just happened here? We are worse than China, than Russia. We are worse than Haiti. We are worse. By behavior, when it comes to lawfare, when it comes to the abusiveness of the law, listen, we are worse as a country. That's what we just shown. So this whole idea of freedom and democracy, forget it, buddy. Forget it. You don't have that. That's what we once had. Guys, this is ridiculous. I don't know what else to tell you. It's like, feel how you want to feel about Trump. You have to understand, a precedence has been set. Sometimes, how do you reverse that? Most times you can't reverse this. And the pendulum always swings on the other side. Remember that. But also, I think the positive side of this thing is that his presidency, as far as Trump winning the presidency, I mean, I don't know how they're going to stop that now. Because remember, people were already sympathizing with Trump while he was going through this. Now, the fact you say he is guilty of this crime, which is crazy to me, crazy, even with all the testimony of Michael Cohen and all the lies, the deception, the money that he stole, and all the weird stuff that was going on behind the scene. With all of that, you managed to say this man is guilty. Beyond reasonable doubt, and there was a whole bunch of doubt that we can reason our way out of, right? But yet, you still managed to get the jury to say he is guilty. They're afraid, they're concerned, they can't go back to work. If they say Trump is not guilty, can you imagine what will happen to them? So that whole system is rigged, man. So now the Supreme Court has to get involved to reverse this. Because it's very obvious those appellate courts, the compromisation is too bad. They are rigged, they are controlled by moneyed men. Okay? So yeah, here is Alex Jones sharing a thought on that. Let's take a listen.
Crime. We are now 24 counts in, all guilty from inside. This is what we are hearing from our producers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Guilty. Now remember, each of
You
these
knew it was coming.
maximum.
It's a rigged jury in New York.
Would be considered a first-time
and they're saying every count is guilty.
Crazy.
Because the judge told them, you feel like he's guilty? That's what the law says, he's guilty. So President Trump, in a rigged, weaponized trial for something he never even did, is guilty because they don't want him to be able to run for office. This is going to backfire on these criminals.
Yep.
They're using lawfare to control people. And it looks to me like they'll convict him on every count. I predicted today you would see this come out because the jury followed the judge's directive. You don't have to be unanimous that he committed any crime. Just if you think anything he did was wrong, just convict him on everything. So this is the malfeasance of the judge. This is the fraud of the judge. And President Trump found guilty on how many counts? They're reading them out. We're learning right now. Probably all of them. They'll leave one or two out to act like, they were being fair. So this is total weaponization. I've been through it where judges find me guilty. Then they have a show trial to find out how guilty I am. And I told you, they're coming for you. There it is. Turn it up right now. Can't wait till Trump comes out.
They got that information back to them this morning. And by the end
Count
of
12.
day 2 of deliberations, we're at 34 guilty counts for the former president of the United States of America.
That is disturbing. This day is going to live in infamy. I am so serious. We'll be talking about this years from now. Guys, I'm sad. But at the same time, I'm glad. Guess what? They just sealed his presidency. People are going to vote for Trump in numbers they've never seen before. As a result of this, I was watching a video last night. Let me find it for you. And one of the things that the man said, because of what they doing to Trump, he says, even though I'm a Democrat, I'm going to vote for Trump. And I can tell you a lot of Americans are feeling the same way. It's like when they see what these folks are doing and to the extreme side of their movement to stop Donald Trump, guess what? People are going to sympathize. They're going to sympathize with Trump like they've never done before. And guess what? That's what they are doing now. So let me pull this up for you.
I think it's a little ridiculous that in a city where you won't lock up a common criminal, you're going to put a guy who's running for president through all this all this crap where, months before he's running for president, it just so happened to occur to you that maybe he committed some crimes. I didn't vote for him the past 2 elections, I'll be honest. And when I say I'm a supporter, I'm somebody who doesn't support every single thing he says or even does. But at this point, they got me to a place where I will pull the lever for this guy because, what they're doing to him is disgusting, and I think the person we have in office right now is incompetent.
They've taken it too far to where they've awakened independent minds like yourself.
Sure, I think this backfired on them completely because, I think they're kind of crapping their pants a little bit because this has made him more appealing to someone like me, and even people who I talk to on a daily basis who may not even like him as a person, but the idea of him being perhaps thrown in jail would be crazy. Like, what kind of country is this?
Yeah. There you go. That right there is the sentiments of the average American. We look at what just happened to Donald Trump right now. We're going to say, listen, man, this is going to solidify many people's votes. My vote's been solidified the day that they raided his house in Mar-a-Lago. When they did this, I was like, I'm done. He's got my vote. He's got my support. You guys are going too far. But now with this, it's like a whole bunch of people. Listen, you have to be careful. This is America. If you make a criminal out of the wrong people, we sympathize with the individual and we will lift them up. Americans feel sorry for people that are being used and abused by the system. We do. It's a normal thing because we're the type of people who love freedom. That's why in America, the gays have their freedom. The Jews have their freedom. Blacks have their freedoms. In America, it's like we fight for people's freedom. There's something in our nature. We love to see people free, right? And when we know there is a level of abuse and we can sense it, we can actually pick up on that. We don't tolerate that. We go to the extreme to push back against this abuse. Americans will not tolerate this. I'm telling you, they will not tolerate this. And they're going to push back against it really, really hard. And it's going to show on November 5th the result of what they just did here.
There's a lot of people outside of that courthouse. They're not all just full-on MAGA. There's a lot of independent voters. And right there, that is what they did not expect. But the Biden camp should have known you can't run this country into the ground intentionally for 3.5 years, earn the worst approval rating in American history, and then expect a politicized legal assault to carry the nearly lifeless body of your candidate across the finish line in November. The American people won't stand for this. Had Biden actually run the country well, had he actually helped unite Americans and had sensible legislation rather than divide us and tear us apart and tear the country apart, well, the scheme that they're pushing right now, this obvious legal scheme, it might have worked. But that's not what they did. Instead, they spent 3 years dividing the country, race baiting, sicking the DOJ on conservatives, coordinating a vast legal assault on a former president, and then to add insult to injury, he sent his campaign out to mock Trump while he suffered under their coordinated legal assault, making T-shirts mocking his only weekday free from trial. This is what the campaign is doing in this moment. Free on Wednesdays as a T-shirt that they're selling. It ticks people off. It ticks regular people off, not just partisans, normal people. They see what this is. And then yesterday, the Biden campaign actually arrived outside of Trump's courthouse. The Biden election campaign holding a press conference using a washed-up actor as their manic TDS frontman. Take a look.
Anyway, much more could be said. I think it's best to end this video. I wanted to come out and make some noise because I was like, I'm actually getting ready to go to work. I work third shift, and I'm like, I'm ready to go to sleep. And I saw this, and I saw your remarks in the comment. I'm like, yo, you can't be serious. I gotta come down here to say something. This is wild what's going on here. But guess what? It's going to backfire. It's going to backfire big time. All you have to do is wait. You see, the Democrats are about to have a rude awakening. They refuse to learn. Every time you go after Trump in the way that you have, the more you indict, the more we unite. All they're gonna do is strengthen his base, seal our decisions, and he's going to push. I don't know how they're gonna stop this, unless if we have a fair election, if the numbers really count, if Joe doesn't get 80-something million. Anyway, we can talk about that. Anyway, if the numbers really count as they're supposed to, right? We can be certain. Trump wins. 2024, November 5th, this seals the deal. But it shows there's something sick in our system. It shows that there is a movement behind the scene that are really pushing the buttons. It really shows the America that we once knew is no longer the same. And friends, you need to understand this. Believe it. Let it work in your mind somehow and accept it as facts. Pray that a change might be done. But if you understand this, if this could be done to Donald Trump, friends, I'm telling you, you and I are in trouble. That's all I'm going to tell you. If this could be done to the former president, oh, Lord have mercy, we are in trouble. Let me read this to you. And my friend, Darth Vader, we like to read this quote, right? First, they came for the communist. And I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialist. I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist. And I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. And then they came for the Jews. And I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak for me. You know, when they came for Donald Trump, some said, I won't speak out because I'm not MAGA. Until they come for you. Anyway, friends, share your thought with me. I want to hear from you. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. We need to be staying in prayer. Our country is in serious trouble. If you love this nation, you love your freedom, and you love to protect this Constitution, you love the Lord, you love people, you need to be praying because things are not looking good. But guess what? God knows what we don't know. He knows what's best. I believe he's going to handle his business. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.